Okay. So I did my fifth project on two regionalist paintings, not painters. Um, One is The Wreck of the Old 97 from 1943 and Tornado over Kansas, right here. So I chose them because they seem very similar in how they were painted, the colors that they were used, and they're similar to around the time that like Mideast, Midwest America was just painting these scenes. So for Benton's, who did The Wreck of the Old 97, when I first looked at it, it just kind of looked like a train barreling by and people can't stop in time at first glance, without studying it. Um, and like the eyes usually like going towards like the black train and the black smoke, and then it leads onto the white horse, which is a straight contrast here. Um, until I start to look at it a little deeper. Um, so the I've compared to like it's a combination of just everything's going on like it's so fast and it's like right in the moment. It's almost like cubism where it's like doing multiple perspectives, like trying to get time all in one. This is what it kind of feels like without cubism, because we could see like the daughter is falling out. Her parents are struggling to like, get to the horse. I'm assuming that's like either her mom or like a sister. I assume it's her mom. And then like it's like a sudden like twist of distress. Uh and it's like we can even see like the horses freaking out, like in distress, and like the conductor, like here he falls off, and we can see like the train tipping over and it's breaking apart. And it's just kind of tragic where you're like, oh my gosh, are they gonna hit the train? And the colors are very diluted but bright at the same time. The smoke here seems to almost like blend in with the sky itself. I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of just follows the shape of the clouds as well. Um, and one of the things that I thought was really cool is like the smoke and all that kind of just seems like um, the sky is like dark. Like that is a moment of it's a dark moment, and then the sky kind of like is getting covered by this black smoke. Um, and then with Curry's piece, Tornado over Kansas, kind of the same thing, where um, it's like during the day, but like it's dark because of the storm, and Kansas and like a couple like three or four other states are like in this tornado alley and this like flat expanse. So like the tornadoes were like a huge deal, and they're still really like terrible. Excuse me. And we could see here like there's the father figure, like he's like the heroic figure here with his daughter and his sons here, and he's getting his wife and child into the thing, and he has nothing of really any value on him. He's not taking anything with him. He has only his daughter in his hand. He's pulling her along here, guiding the wife in, and the sons are carrying in their pets, little puppies here, and the cat trying to get away. Um, it almost feels like they're taking what they feel is valuable, like their family, and these pets are their family. Clearly not the chicken here. um, so yeah, so it's just this dark moment of like impending doom, sort of. So it's like in the distance they have some time to react, whereas the last one they didn't have time. Um, and so like I focus on like their expressions really. So especially with the sons here and the carrot and the wagon, like the straining of the horse and like the conductor here saying no, like like almost like a warning. It feels like, and it feels like a loss. The Wreck of the Old 97 was based on a ballad, and it said 11 people died, which 11 people did die. It was a real thing that happened in Virginia, and 9 people were killed in the car, and 2 others passed away from injuries, like outside of the wreck. And so like it's this moment of like this conductor most likely died, and probably this chicken died. Poor chickens. Um, so the compares to the similarities that I found with this, they're condensed. They're very condensed. Like the horse compared to this guy right here, like that's not a lot of space between him, and he feels like a dwarf. And especially like compared to the train, like he is tiny, and this horse is massive, and she is way bigger than both her parents here, even though she just fell out the back of a cart. Like we can, the perspective, you can understand why it's like that because clearly maybe she's closer, but also it's just very condensed moments. Like this is like a hill. It kind of has like this feeling of a bridge right here that goes over even the clouds. And with the this photo here, I zoomed in. Like this is so close, but yet it's supposed to be kind of far away. And we see the horses way back here too. But this feels closer than the horses are, even though they seem about the same distance. Like this just feels like it's supposed to be the same distance, but the horses are very far away. And this chicken just feels like when I have to think about this without looking at it, I feel like the chicken is taking up most of that right corner. I don't know why. And the peaceful like look on that chicken's face. But we can see here like this seems like a thing that they are all experienced with, like a calm, chaotic rush. Like, but this daughter probably doesn't know what's going on. Is kind of confused, kind of scared. It's a scary, thing. But the confidence that he's saving his family, and there might be like a financial loss with like the farm in this aspect instead of like death, really. And it got me really thinking of like and like anecdotal things with similar occurrences that happen around the same time or like they're very similar to things that have happened like this recently. So there was a man named H. Tracy Nealand, and he bought this painting, Tornado Over Kansas, because he remembers seeing tornadoes as he was a child, and he remembers having to rush home to school, and he never saw one like touch down like this because this looks like a nasty one right here. But he does remember like the warnings and the rush, like get home, get safe, and he bought it because I don't know who wants to have nostalgia over almost dying to a tornado, I guess. Um, but a similar instance that I could find close to when this painting was produced was in Fort Riley, Kansas. It was this military fort, I think, that was just obliterated, and this nearby town also suffered heavy losses. I think they weren't. I think there was one fatality, a lot of injuries, but it wasn't too bad. So you can survive at F3, F4 level. I think the highest level you can get is F5. And that I think there was an F5 that happened like early 20th century, but not close to this time. And then I touched on the train wreck based on an actual train accident that happened in Virginia. And there is a plaque, I didn't include it here, that talks about the ballad, the song that was made about 20 years or so after the accident happened. And basically there was a young man named Brody, and he wanted to get somewhere fast, and he tipped over several cars off a bridge. And it said that he burned via steam, so that's fun for him. Um, and there haven't really been any like recent, train crashes. But there was one I found that happened in 2023 that I had never heard about, and I wanted to touch on it a little bit because this one in Virginia is pretty bad. It's the worst one in their history. Um, Enough to have a ballad and have like an actual plaque set up telling people about the ballad and about the accident. And this one happened in California. Of course, instead of carrying mail, it carried toxic waste. And there was a malfunction failure, and the crew were not informed, and everything got set ablaze. And there was a bunch of environmental issues that happened, a lot of settlement payouts, and the company over it just screwed up because they didn't want people to know it was them. All of this. No one died. It doesn't look like it. Like these are all the cars that are piled up here, and it was burning for 2 days, so that's great. Um, and so the reason why I wanted to choose these real life instances was because with these paintings, there's still like an element of real life uh survival and real life risk, because like I might not live around tornadoes, but I've always been scared of like getting into like a quicksand, which is not something I would occasionally find myself in at all, like these random fears, but like it could still happen in the place that I live in, and that's something I have to think about, because it's an environmental thing, and like this is just the destruction of nature, and like they're only pulling in what they want to keep. Like it might be a loss for them, they might lose everything, but they'll have like the most important things to them, which is their family, amid the natural disaster. And this is a man-made disaster. So like two very different settings. Um but like train crashes really a huge thing. I've heard of a lot of train crashes, and like people are like, "Oh, this place is haunted now because of how bad it is," cuz a train can't stop. Like that's like the slowest thing to stop that we know of. And so like I can just imagine like this man pulling on the reins. Again, he's like the bigger figure in this. He's the heroic figure. He's probably a humble farmer, just like the one in the tornado painting. And he's pulling on that horse, and the horse is clearly in distress. And like we don't see their expressions, but we can see the horse's expression. I think that really sense. And that man is he it looks like he like fell out. I'm not sure if he was like meant to jump out or fall out, but and like the way like the flow of this painting goes, like again, like a bridge. And I think that's really cool. Whereas this one feels very flat. And I think maybe it's because this is Kansas, is supposed to be flat, whereas this one's like it's a train, and it's going over like these hills and these grades, and it went over a grade it shouldn't have, and it derailed. And honestly, the ballad actually pretty accurate to the actual thing, which I was very surprised by. So I just thought that was cool. I wanted to have like a little bit of anecdotal things. Here are my citations. Thank you.